We all know scary movies are fake, but what happens if these movies become a reality? Today on Unbelievable Clips, we are taking a look at the top 10 scariest things ever caught on camera. Number 10. The Hotel. It was just another typical night at the hotel complex. However, December 8th, 2013 was a bit different. The security camera that was set up in front of the door was rolling. However, nobody expected what it was about to catch. Around 1:30 in the morning, it appears like a small creature appears to be walking slowly towards the camera. But then suddenly, it disappears. If we take another look, the creature is shaped like a human in some ways, but a human would be much larger, unless a toddler was venturing out at 1:30 in the morning. However, as the ghost-like object walks closer to the camera, it suddenly disappears. Where did it go? Did it go into the window or somewhere else? Let us know in the comments where you think the creature went. Number 9. The basement. Blake Smith said that he had heard weird noises and screams coming from his basement. Sometimes even the door rattled a bit. One day, however, he finally decided to take a look.
Looks like there's someone there, but a bit too much of a to go down, so here I go. I hear something. Hello? Hello? Oh, jeez. Alright. Hello? I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Alright. Is anyone here? On the door. Hello? Oh. Holy that's too much for me. Too much for me. Jesus.
After his first encounter, things began to get even weirder, however. Screams became more and more regular, and once again, he goes down to take a second look.
Alright, I live alone again, and, I hear what sounds like crying coming from the basement. I even called the police. They found wet footprints down there when I let them down there, so I don't know what to... Alright, let's just... You stay up here. Hello? Hello?
Oddly enough, Blake's encounters must have stopped as quickly as they started, because he has not posted to his YouTube channel for over a year. What do you think was in his basement? Was it haunted? Number 8. The road. Nobody likes driving down a dark road at night, especially if it's by yourself. Unfortunately for this man, he had no choice. and probably wished he didn't go out that night. On August 8th, 2017, the man was driving on a back road by himself around 11:15 p.m. While driving, he begins to come around the corner, when all of a sudden, a woman or demon appears in a white shirt who looks to be possessed in some way. The woman then turns around and begins stabbing herself with a knife. What do you think? Is this staged and possibly not real at all? Would you help her or get out of the way? Number 7. The Bar. A nightclub in Singapore films just another typical night at the bar. People seem to be drinking and having a great time. But what they don't know is there's something else among them. Later in the evening, the camera catches something very interesting. Obviously, a bar stool falling is creepy, and weird enough. Nobody was touching the stool, and it seems to just moved and knocked over by itself. But this wasn't the craziest thing that happened that night. Behind them, as they look at the stool, a small creature sprints away from the scene. Now I know what most of you are thinking, probably just a small child, right? Well, if we take a look at how the creature was moving, it's running much faster than a child would. And the fact that the bar wouldn't allow a small toddler to run around at 3 o'clock in the morning is just another indication it's probably not human. What is this creature? Is it a human? Is it CGI'd? Or is it something that nobody's seen before? Number 6. The Addict. A couple in Portugal was hearing very odd and weird noises coming from their attic. So, they grab the camera and go to see what it is. However, the woman continuously tells the man to be safe. She seems genuinely terrified about what's up there, and for good reason.
José, tu vais lá acima sozinho. Eu vou lá contigo. Tem cuidado. Opa! Opa! Não, tu não vais lá sozinho. Ai. Opa, olha, vai lá tu, toma, eu fico aqui, desculpa, não consigo, desculpa, eu estou cheia de medo, a sério, vai lá tu, mas tem cuidado, está bem? Olha aí, opa, tu estás a ouvir?
Caraca, se que é isto mesmo? Não, nada, está tudo bem, está tudo bem. Bem? Nada. Espera. Não. Estou.
Ai, eu ajudo a descer.
The creature doesn't seem to appear until the man gets down out of the attic. The ghost and terrifying creature seems that they don't really want any visitors. Number 5. The House.
Все успокоилось, но на следующий день мы узнали, что он умер. Он умер, и у нас начались...
Dima Melezhnikov is a Russian ghost hunter and YouTuber who frequently goes into abandoned buildings, homes, and more to check out what there is. However, a woman told him about her house being haunted, so he went in to investigate further. When Dima went to go check out the house, it was mostly just strange noises and sounds. He then uploaded it to YouTube, and a few weeks later, he had a flood of responses. All of his regular viewers noticed something that Dima himself had no idea about. As he was walking down one of the stairways, the camera catches something or someone looking at him. It appears to be something that is dressed up in some type of uniform that is just watching him as he travels down the staircase. Like we said, Dima himself didn't notice this until his viewers, who were quite freaked out, noticed it for him. Number 4. The woods. A farmer in India went out late at night to find some missing sheep. He ventures into the woods to see if he can find them. He definitely finds something, just not the sheep. The video shows what appears to be an angry creature who is ready to pounce at any moment. The farmer's reaction seems legitimate, and if it is, my assumption would be that he never found those sheep. Number 3. The barn. A man notices some screeching and scratching noises that are coming from the barn house that his grandfather had left him. Nobody was home with him over the weekend, so he decided to investigate further. He noticed that all of the equipment had been thrown around the room and begins to go further and further through the barn. The man then gets to a room and decides to pan the camera upwards and captures this. What appears to be a ghostly figure is staring directly at him and watching everything he's doing. What do you think it is? Could it be something never seen before? Number 2, the prison. In a very small town called St. Osyth, Essex, UK, there is an abandoned jail known only as the Cage. What makes this prison haunted is that for 400 years it served as a prison to restrain and execute women convicted of witchcraft. A paranormal research crew with Brian Mack and others went in to investigate what was claimed to be paranormal activity around the prison. During the investigation, the crew noticed a few things. The lights turned on and off, and strange voices were heard whispering around the prison. When the lights were off, some of the crew were bitten by something they couldn't see. Many of the crew decided that this was too much for them and decided to stop their investigation right there. But for those who decided to continue, the eeriness was just beginning.
Face has completely changed. Doesn't even look like a person.
Right, Debbie, you need to come down here for a minute, please.
Weird, man. My eyes were black.
Brian and his crew decided to perform a ritual as they watched in another room. The woman's face completely changes. Her nose gets longer, and she begins to twitch in a very odd and peculiar way.
Face has completely changed. Doesn't even look like a person.
Right, Debbie, you need to come down here for a minute, please.
Although the woman had many layers of clothes on, she had a very weird burn mark on her back after the occurrence. She then told her team after they had left that she continued to have weird and scary nightmares for months and months later. Was this woman overtaken by a witch, or was it just another team messing with a camera angle? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. Number 1. The tracks. A man decided to investigate a tunnel that was found under train tracks located near his house. When the man arrived, he was shocked at just how large this tunnel really was. There were different hallways and rooms hidden beneath the tracks that looked like they had never been discovered. It is not long before the men began to hear weird noises coming from the distance, so they decided to go further and further into the tunnel. As they began to get deeper and deeper into the tunnel, they began to think whether or not this was a good idea, considering they have no idea what awaits them. But, in the end, they decided to continue onto their journey. As they enter the final room, they begin to pan the room with their flashlights and find a strange creature appears in the doorway and is moving in a very odd way. The men are immediately frightened and run away. I'm sure they never ventured back into that tunnel ever again. What do you think it was? Was it a human body? Or was it something else living under the tunnel? Thank you all so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of our new content. We'll see you in the next video.